Highgate Cemetery, with its Gothic arches, overgrown graves, and shadowy paths, has always held an air of mystery. But between the late 1960s and early 1970s, it became the setting for a tale so strange it captured the public imagination and blurred the lines between reality and myth. This is the story of the Highgate Vampire, a mystery tangled in chilling encounters, bitter rivalries, and a public frenzy. Today, we'll unravel the clues, examine the witnesses, and let you decide, was the Highgate Vampire real?
Today, we're going to share a chilling true mystery submitted by one of our subscribers. To share your own experience or a topic you would like us to investigate, please get in touch through email or any of our social media channels in the description. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe and turn on the notifications so you never miss any of our weekly uploads. Now back to the story.
It all began on Christmas Eve, 1969. David Ferrand, a man fascinated by the supernatural, was walking past Highgate Cemetery. The night was cold, and the cemetery was bathed in an eerie silence. But something stopped Ferrand in his tracks. A figure. It was tall, cloaked in shadow, and its eyes glowed red like embers. Frozen with fear, Ferrand felt the temperature around him drop even further. And then, as quickly as it had appeared, the figure vanished into the mist. Ferrand shared his encounter in the Hampstead and Highgate Express, and his story unleashed a flood of responses. Dozens of witnesses came forward. Some spoke of a pale woman gliding among the gravestones, while others described ghostly bells ringing in the dead of night, though no such bells existed in the cemetery. One person even reported a spectral cyclist who vanished before their eyes. But the most chilling stories spoke of a dark figure watching from behind the cemetery gates, its eyes glowing through the fog. These accounts shared one unsettling detail. All described an otherworldly presence that seemed to defy explanation. However, this was not the first sinister tale tied to the area. A year earlier, on Halloween night in 1968, Tottenham Park Cemetery had been desecrated. A group of young occult enthusiasts broke in, disturbing graves and arranging flowers in ritual patterns. Most disturbingly, they drove a metal stake through the heart of a corpse, claiming it was part of a ritual to banish a vampire. Was this a prank, or had they unknowingly awakened something? The timing, many would later note, was eerily close to the events at Highgate. As the stories of Highgate grew, a new figure entered the scene: Sean Manchester. If Ferrand was the quiet investigator, Manchester was the showman. A self-proclaimed vampire hunter, he declared that the figure haunting Highgate Cemetery was no ordinary ghost. It was a vampire, and not just any vampire, but a medieval nobleman brought from Eastern Europe centuries earlier. According to Manchester, this ancient being had been disturbed and was now feeding on the life energy of the living. Manchester's claims captured the public's imagination. He vowed to track the creature to its lair and destroy it. But not everyone agreed with him. Ferrand, while acknowledging the paranormal activity, dismissed the vampire theory as absurd. Their disagreement quickly escalated into a bitter rivalry. Soon, it seemed the feud between Ferrand and Manchester was becoming as much a part of the legend as the vampire itself. Then came March 13th, 1970, a Friday the 13th that would go down in history. Manchester announced that he would lead a vampire hunt at Highgate Cemetery, and the media frenzy that followed was unprecedented. By nightfall, hundreds of people had gathered at the cemetery gates. Some scaled the walls, while others forced their way through locked entrances. Armed with crucifixes, stakes, and torches, the crowd roamed the grounds in a chaotic search for the vampire. Eyewitnesses described a surreal and frenzied scene. Groups of people spread out, their flashlights casting eerie shadows over crypts and gravestones. Some swore they heard whispers and distant moans. Others claimed to see fleeting shadows darting between the tombstones. The police were called in to restore order, but the mob was unstoppable. By the end of the night, no vampire, or even concrete evidence of one, was found. Yet the legend had grown even larger. The tale took a darker turn in the months that followed. On August 1st, 1970, the charred and decapitated remains of a woman were found near the cemetery's catacombs. Whispers of satanic rituals and sacrifices spread like wildfire.
Grave robbers and body snatchers. These compartments, if you like, are called loculi, and there are over 800 of them. They all sold, or most of them sold. If they're empty now, it's because the coffin became too badly deteriorated to be saved. This was also when they were looking for the Highgate Vampire, this became a focal point of the vampire hunters' attention.
Just days later, David Farrant was arrested near the cemetery, carrying a wooden stake and crucifix. Though he claimed he was there to investigate, the media painted him as a fanatic fueling the hysteria. Meanwhile, Manchester claimed he had located the vampire's lair in a family vault within the cemetery. He described performing an exorcism involving garlic, incense, and holy water, insisting the creature had been destroyed. But skeptics questioned the lack of evidence, and even some of those present doubted the validity of his claims. The rivalry between Farrant and Manchester continued to escalate. Each accused the other of fabricating stories and seeking fame. At one point, rumors spread that the two would duel atop Parliament Hill in a showdown of magical abilities. Though the duel never happened, it added another bizarre layer to the saga. Both men published accounts of the events, each presenting themselves as the true hero of the Highgate Vampire mystery. So where does that leave us? Let's examine the clues. 1. Multiple eyewitnesses described a tall, shadowy figure with glowing red eyes, often accompanied by an intense cold. 2. Others reported a pale woman, a vanishing cyclist, and disembodied whispers. 3. The desecration at Tottenham Park Cemetery in 1968 involved a ritualistic act that some believe could have disturbed a supernatural force. The chaotic mob, on March 13, 1970, revealed mass hysteria, yet no physical evidence of a vampire was ever found. 5. Manchester claimed to have destroyed the vampire but offered no proof, while Farrant's arrest only added fuel to the media fire. As you piece together these details, you must decide, does the evidence point to a real supernatural being? Or is it a tale born of fear, rivalry, and a dash of creative imagination? Highgate Cemetery remains as mysterious as ever, its crumbling tombstones and shadowy paths still holding their secrets. Perhaps the truth of the Highgate Vampire lies buried there, waiting for the next brave investigator to uncover it. The question is, will you be the one to solve the mystery?
Thank you for tuning in. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. If you're fascinated by chilling mysteries, puzzling disappearances, and haunting tales, Midnight Echoes is your destination. Subscribe, like, share, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload, because the darkest truths often emerge just when you think the night is quiet. Until next time, stay curious and stay safe.